The hall was carved from black stone and lined with hovering screens, each filled with a diagram of alien weapons, plasma throwers, arc rifles, and matter disruptors that had ended wars on distant worlds. Rows of cadets, scaled, feathered, and chitinous, sat at attention while Instructor Crawl stalked the floor. His voice, gravel against metal, carried easily in the silence. Every civilization develops weapons. Weapons are the language of survival. Weapons decide who commands and who obeys. He paused, his many eyes sweeping the class, lingering at the lone human sitting in the third row. The alien cadets shifted with unease, some sneering, others whispering. Humanity had only just been admitted into the interstellar concord, and many still believed their place among predators and empires was undeserved. Humans were still too new, too fragile, too primitive. Crawl's voice dropped lower, a predator's growl. Now a demonstration. Who among you will step forward and craft a weapon from nothing? The cadets buzzed with excitement, talons clicking, mandibles clicking. One by one, they produced conjured blades from crystalline matter, improvised plasma arcs using their natural bioelectric charges, even a shard of acid from the glands of a scaled reptilian student. Each presentation earned approving murmurs. At last, Crawl turned toward the human. You, Earthborn, your species lacks claws, fangs, or natural armor. You are soft flesh, fragile bones. Show us, then, how does a human arm himself? The cadets hissed and clicked with amusement. All eyes bore down on the human. Cadet Marcus Hale. He stood slowly, brushing down his plain uniform. His face betrayed neither fear nor arrogance, only a calm, unreadable focus. He scanned the room, his gaze drifting not to the weapon schematics glowing overhead, but to the furniture, the long metal chairs, the wooden writing desks, the woven cords binding projectors' housing. Without a word, he moved. His hands tugged at the backrest of his chair until it creaked loose. He snapped it free, exposing a length of polished wood. The alien cadets snickered. Crawl remained silent, his massive form looming. Marcus tore strips of insulation wire from the projector, stretching them taut. Then, with slow, deliberate movements, he bent the wood into a curve and bound it with the wires. His fingers tested the tension, adjusting, pulling tighter, until a low hum sang in the string. The laughter died away. Marcus glanced around, picked up a broken shard of plastic from a datapad casing, and began shaving down a straight piece of chair leg until it formed a crude arrow. He knocked it, drew the wire back to his cheek, and released. The arrow flew with a sharp hiss, embedding itself deep into the thick training dummy at the front of the hall. The shaft quivered, buried halfway into the reinforced material designed to resist blades. Silence crashed down. Marcus lowered the bow, his voice steady. We don't have claws or fangs. Our strength is that we look at what's around us and see what it can become. Rock becomes a hammer. Fiber becomes string. What becomes this? He tapped the bow. It's not elegant, but it kills. A murmur rippled through the cadets. Some shifted uncomfortably, their earlier arrogance curdling into unease. Crawl stepped forward, his massive talons clicking on the floor. He loomed over Marcus, studying the crude bow with his many eyes. At last, a low rumble escaped his throat. This is new. Not new, Marcus corrected softly. Very old. Our ancestors used this when all they had were sticks and sinew. It put food on the fire. It kept predators at bay. And when war came, it taught us range, precision, patience. Every weapon we have now descends from this way of thinking. Turn weakness into strength. Crawl's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. He glanced at the cadets, who were now watching Marcus with a mixture of suspicion and respect. Then, in a sudden motion, Crawl seized one of the heavy metal spears a reptilian cadet had produced and hurled it toward the same dummy. The spear struck with thunderous crack, sparking as it pierced the outer shell. It embedded only a fraction deeper than Marcus's arrow. The room erupted in shock. Crawl raised his voice, booming. Do you see? This human has no venom, no claws, no armored hide. Yet he shapes the world with his mind until the world itself fights for him. You sneer at his weakness, yet weakness becomes innovation. You doubt his place here? Then doubt no longer. Marcus exhaled, shoulders easing slightly. But he noticed the way some cadets stared at him now, not with mockery, but with fear. The reptilian scales tightened. The insectoid's mandibles clicked in agitation. They had understood the unspoken truth. If humans could craft death from mere scraps in a classroom, what might they create with the resources of empires? The instructor gestured toward the bow. Human, keep it. Let it remind this class that the deadliest weapon is not the fang or the claw, but the mind that shapes them. Marcus nodded, gripping the crude bow with quiet pride. He sat back down, feeling the shift in the room. The cadets no longer whispered insults. They whispered his name. And though the demonstration had lasted less than 10 minutes, the legend of that moment would travel far beyond the academy walls. For the galaxy had just been reminded of a truth carved in Earth's history. Where other species saw limitations, humanity saw possibilities. And possibilities were weapons no shield could stop.